Hey guys, I hope all is well. Thank you for joining me for this Truth Talk episode. In today's episode, we will be talking about Katt Williams warning Brandon T. Jackson about Hollywood. Let's get right into it. So many people around the world would do anything to make it in Hollywood, not knowing what it really costs to make it in that world. If people knew the truth about the industry, it would at least stop some people from trying to get in it. The fans fall in love with the stars that Hollywood makes, not knowing what the stars had to do to make it in the first place. Hollywood is not what it seems, and if you have been paying attention for the last 3 years, you would know something sinister is taking place. Becoming a star in Hollywood is something very valuable to many people, as it comes with several perks. You get boatloads of money and you get fame. Millions of people around the world who worship and adore you. We can tell with social media that this is what most people nowadays desperately want. What most people don't know is that most of the time, getting the fame, money, and success comes with a heavy price tag attached to it. A price that just about every celebrity in Hollywood has paid to make it big. Every time you see an actor going up fast, getting all the big roles, just know that he had to pay that price. If Hollywood chooses you to be the next up, you gotta be willing to compromise who you are in every way. Compromise your morals and your soul. One actor who was faced with the decision to sell out for money and fame was Brandon T. Jackson, an actor and a comedian best known for his roles in movies like Tropic Thunder, the Percy Jackson movies Lottery Ticket, and Big Mama's House. Brandon got his start in Hollywood in the 2000s and was cast for many roles throughout the years since. When Brandon was in the industry, he never became the major star that few actors get to become. While Brandon didn't become a huge star, he was, though, at one point offered an opportunity to make it there. In the beginning of the 2010s, Brandon thought he would be a household name when he was put in the Percy Jackson movie, but what followed the Percy Jackson role was what would determine the rest of his career. Just like many other actors in the industry, Brandon was eventually faced with the crossroad decision of selling out for a movie role, compromising himself to make it to the top. He had to make the decision that many others in Hollywood always end up being faced with, putting on a dress for a movie. Brandon was offered to be a part of one of the Big Mama House movies, where he would have to dress in women's clothing. Brandon was uncomfortable with this, but knew that if he turned down the role, he would never make it as a star in the industry. I have spoken about the dress ritual these celebrities are forced to partake in. It's almost a hazing method used on celebrities to initiate them into the club. We were recently talking about Katt Williams exposing this dress ritual in the industry. Katt Williams claimed he turned down wearing the dress and dealt with the consequences for it. He also called out many actors who sold out and put on the dress to succeed in the industry. Before Brandon made the decision to wear the dress, Katt Williams actually came out and warned Brandon not to sell out and wear the dress for Hollywood, giving him genuine advice that putting on the dress for a role is selling your soul. Something that Brandon knew all too well because he came from a very religious family. His parents were leader figures in the church. When Brandon heard Katt's warning, instead of taking his advice, he did the opposite and went on TMZ dissing Katt for warning him not to wear the dress.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, tell Katt Williams that.
What about
Give me that about I wore a dress. Yeah, you wore a perm.
Katt Williams.
Yeah, I love him, but he calling me out now. Come on. And I said,
We all know what decision Brandon ended up making. Brandon ended up selling out and choosing to wear the dress in order to make it to the next level, a decision he ended up regretting soon after. After Brandon wore the dress, he realized he had sold his soul to Hollywood, and this is when he started having regrets. During this interview, Brandon talks about the moment he was offered the role for Big Mama's House and calls the film an Illuminati film.
favorite one, I'm really up to point. I would probably say between Robots was my favorite far as it was my first film, and Tropic Thunder around those. And I love Lottery.
That's what I'm saying. I just popped in there.
Lottery Ticket was dope too, because that was a good I got a lot of improv a lot with that whole rooftop scene.
I'm broke.
Yeah, get it, girl, get it.
I'm broke.
And you got the power. I was improvising. They was like improv the whole scene. Then they was like, he's real. Put him in a dress.
Did you have to wear a dress?
Man, Big Mama. They got me with that one.
I was gonna ask you about that
was
too.
one Illuminati movie they got me with. I didn't know.
That was one Illuminati movie they got me with. I didn't know.
I was
Said Illuminati movie.
As you heard for yourself, Brandon knew what he had participated in. He sold out and was used to push an agenda. He would even go on another show talking about how Katt Williams tried to warn him about selling his soul, and he admits he should have listened to him.
Everything went wrong. It's like everything went right. Everything went wrong when I put on that dress. Pre-Big Mamas, to me, actually it's like you have an AD, BC, BM for me. My career pre-BM.
So Big Mama was a changing point.
Yeah. It was a negative changing point, to be honest. Positive in a way where the perception of my image was every bus, but my personal life was in shambles in that time. It was horrible. My personal life was in shambles, but my career it was at its height, I believe. It was going.
It was kind of like a passing of the torch in a sense.
Yeah, yeah. You know, and I did it purely for the money and the work of Martin Lawrence.
Yeah.
So I didn't do it for the purity of comedy. I did it for the purity of work with Martin. But I believe that it was still more than money. Like, damn, I'm gonna get a big check. You know.
Yeah. You mentioned the dress. It's a big conversation.
Yeah.
About that. Did you get like slack when you wore the dress at that moment?
It was like, wasn't slack from people. Only Katt Williams. Katt Williams was trying to always say, Brandon, don't wear a dress. You know,
He called you, or is this?
no, he said it in the media, so I thought he was heckling me. He was really trying to help me at the time. I didn't know that. I was immature. I feel like, dang, why I'm trying to make it. Why you bashing me? He was trying to warn me, you know, don't get in the dress. So, the awakened Brandon, you could pay him $1 trillion to get in the dress.
Yeah.
So, I was cursed by it. I believe it was a curse that went with that person, because nothing went right since then. That's truthful. No one can tell me, hey man, you thinking like me. You see that, man? Everything went wrong. It's like everything went right. Everything went wrong when I put on that dress. And once I put the dress on and I had that fire was put out.
Yeah.
And I only did it one time. So I was doing it 3 times, 4 times. But then Tyler Perry did, he got stronger. I don't know the rules. My path, when I put on a dress, it came with a demon baby mama and a starter kit for hell. That's what happened to me. You haven't seen me since, to be honest. But then I was stronger though.
Would you like warn other stand-up comedians about a dress?
And say, I wouldn't wear the dress if you're chosen. You know, some people can wear the dress, it doesn't affect them, but, you know, I don't know, for me it didn't work. So I say, I wouldn't advise anybody to do it. Just, who wants to roll that dice?
Yeah.
As you heard for yourself, Brandon admits wearing the dress was the worst decision he made, claiming that Katt Williams was trying to warn him about it, but he didn't listen because he was immature at the time, stating that he was just trying to make it when he did it. Brandon also stated that when he put on the dress, it came with a demon baby mama and a starter kit for hell. He even admits he cursed himself by putting on the dress, claiming it was the worst decision he ever made. He ends up doing just what Katt Williams did to him, warning fellow upcoming celebrities about the dress ritual, telling them not to put it on if they're chosen to do so. This part was very important. The key word is chosen. They are choosing which actors they want to initiate to see who is willing to do as they're told. Those who prove themselves by compromising themselves get to make it to the top in the industry, and those who don't get phased out. The reason Brandon's career didn't blow up after putting on the dress was because the higher-ups saw Brandon's reaction to putting on the dress. He didn't do it happily. They realized he was going to be a problem, something that Brandon made clear when he left the industry behind. In this video posted by Brandon, he explains why he abandoned Hollywood. He told those listening that he left because he became smarter and no longer wanted to be a slave to the industry.
What happened to Brandon T. Jackson? Maybe I got smarter, had a spiritual experience, learned who I was, learned how to play the game. Maybe it's because I don't want to be a slave anymore.
Brandon, after selling out and wearing the dress, realized that Katt Williams was right. It wasn't worth selling out for temporary fame. He also realized that the industry was being controlled by people with agendas and disturbing goals for the masses. He didn't want to be a part of pushing that agenda, so he decided to leave Hollywood and turn away from the demonic industry. Well, that was until he needed money again and wanted to make a comeback. Just recently, Brandon did an interview where he is singing a completely different tune. He is no longer the brave man who learned his lesson and was talking against the industry. Instead, he is now denying that there is a group of people that are secretly controlling the industry and pushing agendas, something he stated himself years back. In this new interview, he seems to try and disprove what Katt Williams recently said during his Shannon Sharpe interview. If you have been paying attention, so many comedians have been responding to Katt Williams, trying to discredit what he said in his last interview. They are doing this because they know what Katt Williams said is the truth, so all of Hollywood is coming out to discredit him. In this interview, Brandon is asked about Katt Williams' comments on Kevin Hart being an industry plant. Immediately, Brandon becomes defensive and denies it, going on to claim that people call him an industry plant all the time.
Katt Williams said Kevin Hart was an industry plant.
What does that mean?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, what does an industry plant mean?
I don't know. They keep calling me that.
We're gonna make you the star because you're gonna get other.
I don't know what it means. I don't know what an industry plant means, and every time someone explains to me, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I was saying.
Because okay, let's do it like this. Let's shut this whole woke thing down for 2 seconds. The woke spirit, which I love, everybody love. If you're using, and I'm gonna say it right now, religion to race to whatever you believe in, you're using American money.
Come on now.
Once you use American money, you're all in the Illuminati. How about that? Let's do it like that.
How about that? We're all part of this.
No, exactly.
We're part of the system. You want to get higher in the totem pole.
Soon as you talk junk, soon as you say all this cool stuff, soon as you say, oh, I'm woke, I'm away from the crowd, the moment you accept American currency or anything in the IMF, you are a part of the system. I don't care.
That's how-
I'm tired of this whole, hey man, he real, but he not. He this, he that. You're accepting American currency. You tell me to leave my job, religion, and you tell me certain religions and say, leave Babylon, don't be a part of the system, but then give me a check. I got a job.
Yeah.
I can't give you a check now. I can't donate to your church. Leave the Hollywood, so I can't donate to the church. It's a scam. So that's why I went my ass back to work, and I said, you know what? I'm just gonna do what I can do and have a great time and enjoy my family.
There you go.
Pinky blinders.
There you go.
As you heard for yourself, Brandon claims he doesn't even know what an industry plan is. Then he completely switches the subject and tells the interviewer if you use US currency, you are a part of the Illuminati, claiming that by using this currency, you're a part of their system, so that makes you a member. This is clearly him deflecting with a terrible point at that. In no way does using American currency make a person a part of the Freemason, which is what Brandon is actually talking about. Our country is controlled by Freemasons. They put their symbol on the currency to demonstrate their dominance. In order to live in this country, we have to use the country's currency to pay and buy what we need in this society. While the Freemasons do own America, us living in America doesn't make us a part of their club. Joining the Masonic Order or becoming a Freemason or selling out like Brandon did is when you become a Masonic puppet, and that's when you're in their club. The money is how they get people to sell out, just like Brandon did for the Mama's House movie. This was Brandon deflecting because he knows himself he is an industry plant. Looking into his upbringing in the industry, he just randomly got an opportunity out of nowhere, which doesn't make any sense. From there, his career just kept going and going and going. It clearly seemed that they chose him and put him in a position to win. Brandon makes it clear he decided to go back to Hollywood because he needs to make money.
Don't be a part of the system, but then give me a check. I got a job.
Yeah.
I can't give you a check now. I can't donate to your church. Leave the Hollywood, so I can't donate to the church. It's a scam. So that's why I went my ass back to work, and I said, you know what? I'm just gonna do what I can do and have a great time and enjoy my family.
He is selling out once again, just like he did with the Big Mama House movie. He knows Hollywood is Babylon, but he is willing to go back to the evil to make money. In another part of the interview, Brandon once again contradicts his past statements on the Illuminati, as he claims it's all fake.
What's up?
Have you been to a P. Diddy party? I'm just saying, like, you know, you're in these crowds.
He trying to put the power bottom spirit on me. I'm bro.
Power bottom spirit.
Y'all wild for that.
I'm saying, have you attended? Have you got invited to one of these?
Edit this right, man.
Have you been into these rooms where these?
And I leave 30 minutes for the devil get there. That's all I gotta say.
Okay, there you go.
That's what Denzel says. Leave 30 minutes for the devil get there.
So, and I'm glad you're here because we're talking to someone who is part of you're in it.
They always got these Illuminati.
Yeah, so yeah, you're in it.
These Illuminati.
So you know, we're just regular people watching. You know, we're just consumers.
I know, but it's a scam. The whole Illuminati thing is not even real like that. I don't think it's real. It's just
Big Mama.
Big Mama tattoo.
They got me with that one.
I was gonna ask you about
That
that
was
too.
one Illuminati movie they got me with. I didn't know.
That was one Illuminati movie they got me with. I didn't know.
act like it's some conspiracy. It's not a conspiracy. It's not a conspiracy.
As you heard for yourself, Brandon called the Illuminati, which we know is the Freemasons, a scam, claiming that they're not even real. Not only is he contradicting what he said, but now he's denying something we know is 100% real. The Freemasons is a real organization, and the Illuminati were a real organization that merged with Masonry in the 1700s. We know the Freemasons have a lot of power and control Hollywood, and they always show us this by placing their symbols everywhere. Brandon knows the truth. He has exposed the truth before, but he got himself blackballed for it. When he put on that dress and started acting off, Hollywood kicked him out because he didn't do it proudly like Tyler Perry or Martin Lawrence. Now we see Brandon trying to backtrack and get on the industry's good side. He is now trying to discredit Katt Williams, who he was just thanking and apologizing to for warning him about not selling out. Yet, he chose to sell out again. It's obvious Brandon just wants to get back on the big screen. He wants to be forgiven, and he is most likely ready to do more compromising things for fame and money. Brandon is seeing exactly why Katt Williams told him to stay away from the dress, because once you put it on, you're giving your soul to Hollywood. You're letting Hollywood know you would do anything for their approval. This is why Brandon is making himself look this way. He is making himself look like a hypocrite, also he can be let back in the club. While we're talking about Katt Williams, I have seen a lot of people say that he has controlled opposition. While I do believe Katt Williams took the oath and is a Masonic puppet, I also believe he has been trying to rebel for a while now. In this old interview, Katt Williams made it clear that he is against the Masonic Order, but he is not trying to get eliminated, so he avoids making himself a target again because last time he got stung for doing so.
Are against the Illuminati. We are against the Illuminati at our own detriment. When people are against the Illuminati, the press hates them and nobody likes them. End quote. It's not necessary for us to stir up that hornet's nest as we intend to get stung 1,000,000 times. I didn't understand that. They had to sting me 1,000,000 times. I'm still not going to join, but I respect it a little more.
As you heard for yourself, Katt Williams claims that he is against the order. Don't get me wrong, I do believe Katt did take the oath, as we can see him doing the one-eye symbolism in this picture. But at some point, something happened that made him turn against the industry. He showed us this, as the industry blackballed him for years, and he sort of disappeared from the spotlight. We all saw exactly who Hollywood chose, Kevin Hart. They made him a megastar. I actually think I should make a full video on Kevin Hart. If you guys want to see that, comment Kevin Hart below. Katt Williams got blackballed until he fell back in line, but it's obvious he's not on their good side. Something else I saw is people claiming that Katt Williams' chain is a Masonic symbol. I can't really see any Masonic symbols in the chain. It's just a compass. I think people are confused because the Masonic symbol is a square in compasses, which looks like this. But a regular compass is not the Masonic symbol. If I am missing something though, you guys can let me know in the comments. Katt Williams told Brandon not to sell out like he told everyone else, but Brandon didn't listen to him. If you see yourself in Brandon's position, you should take Katt's advice and not sell your soul. Well, that's it for this video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.